Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS and the inventor of the CTKs method and BORSOG trading. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Looking at Bitcoin's price, we can see it's currently 23,336. What have we actually observed recently? We've seen Bitcoin get over this resistance just recently. From 29 to 31, passed through this area at around 22,810. It formed a low at 0.32 here, rallied up strongly. This is all about breaking that resistance. But what you'll often find is even when resistance is broken, on the initial one, it tends to fail. It tends to come back and try again. And that's what we've seen recently. Let's have a look at the NASDAQ. We can see the NASDAQ futures, this sort of gray line in the background. The NASDAQ futures are going up. They're just doing a bit of a curl over at the moment. It's really important to actually assess how NASDAQ impacts Bitcoin. If I zoom out a little, you can see the NASDAQ is very positively correlated with Bitcoin at the present time. So we just keep our eye on that as well. It's just another clue, another piece of the puzzle with our crypto detective work. What did we actually see in the US markets in the past trading session? This really strong line at 12,847 in the NASDAQ 100 was defended very, very well. We saw a ping up from there. It's looking quite good. Don't forget, price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and down, but this is looking rather good at the moment. We saw fear come out of the market. This is the VIX. And when the VIX actually drops, what it shows us is there's risk on behavior inside the markets. What happened to bond prices and bond yields? Bond prices came down and then rallied. What about bond yields? They came up and then dropped. We know there's an inverse relationship between the two. And what about gold? Gold is seeking this 1810 level. There's a lot of overhead resistance. It's going to take a bit for gold to get through there. But if we have more geopolitical risk, gold will take out this 810 level without a problem. What did we see in the DXY? The DXY is coming back to retest a level of resistance. And it's possible that we're getting a trend change, but we have to keep our eye on it. It's very, very early. And what happened to oil? Oil was getting through this resistance, turning it to support, and then broke down. That's a really good thing in terms of inflationary pressure. It decreases that pressure. And what do we see with junk bonds? Junk bonds, this is a very high risk-on signal. They're increasing. And masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TM6. When we look at the NASDAQ, bouncing off that very strong support underneath here, and we understand that support exists because we look at market structure through the CTKs method. But one thing that we need to bear in mind, all of these major indices are coming up to some form of resistance. The NASDAQ will hit resistance at about 13,500. The S&P 500 is still a way off and it's being supported quite well. We can see the Dow Jones is coming up to a level of resistance as well at around 33,633. And what about the Russell 2000? It's coming up to its resistance level at 1932. Now, what does this mean for crypto? Because you can see Bitcoin's gravity, that blue line, just behind all of these major US indices. Please let me know in the comments what it makes. As crypto technical analysts, we subscribe to the CTKs Creed. That primes us for profitability in the crypto market. And this is simply just a list of things that we say to ourselves. I know the universe wants me to succeed. Every day I show kindness, integrity, and gratitude. I know opportunities and life reset daily. I am worthy. I go slow to go fast. I start small and scale with BORSOG. Life pullbacks give me the strength for the next life rally. I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. In the masterclass, we go through so many different ways of looking at the market and collecting clues like a crypto detective to see what price action does next. Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart here in TG34. What we're actually seeing here is the options market, and this is all about Max Pain, Max Pain, and that's the price at which the majority of options expire worthless. We're anticipating, we saw a reduction yesterday in Max Pain of 223,000. We're expecting a flat line for the next couple of days as well. And Max Pain at the end of the month is expected to be 23,000. We also keep an eye on the shorts and the longs. The shorts are measured in here by this red line. You can see the shorts have been coming out of the market. And what about the longs? They're starting to curve, starting to form a bottom. What do we expect with this? When the longs form a bottom like this, we'll expect more longs to come into the market. And what could that do? Please let me know in the comments. When you actually do active learning, you change the dynamic. When you look at something, you'll say, what does this mean to me? And that's really important to do in crypto, because crypto moves 5 times faster than conventional markets. You need these skills, and those skills are what I share inside the masterclass as well. Over the past 24 hours, we've seen 121.34 million in liquidations across 42,752 positions. And when we look at total liquidations across the past 24 hours, about 53% of them have been short. What about the past 12 hours? About 60% short. What about the past 4 hours? Whoa, it's gone the other way, 65% long. And what about the past hour? 74% short. You can see the shorts and the longs are always liquidating each other. And when we look at a daily basis, we can see not too much volume coming through in comparison to yesterday, but still respectable levels. We can see weekend trading is often around that sort of 50 to 60 million. That can be something that you keep your eye on. So when we're looking at this kind of thing, 120 million, it's fairly respectable. But we notice the number of liquidated traders is actually quite low, 43,000. As part of the CTKs process, we actually look back inside the crypto market to understand its timing. Over the past 24 hours, the entire crypto market cap has increased 1.2% to 1.08 trillion. The greatest gainers in the past 24 hours, Optimism, up nearly 35%. Optimism has a lot of depth, and I raise this, what is depth and how does it relate to a depth chart? When you have a lot of depth in a particular crypto, it's got many buyers and many sellers. For example, if you're looking at ADA versus USDT, you can see the sum of the sellers and the sum of the buyers. This is quite good depth, and it means that you can put a fair amount of money in, and the probability that it will get filled is really good. We can also do it from BUSD. For example, about 92 to 92. This gives you some sort of comprehension on what is actually happening inside the crypto market. What you'll also find is some cryptos don't have a lot of volume, and that may not be an issue if you're using coffee money. But if you have a multi-digit account, when you come to these smaller cryptos, they probably won't support your buy and sell levels. Thank you for everybody's comments in yesterday's video. Really good, insightful things. And I'm going to be sharing those comments over the next couple of videos because there's so many good ones in there, especially on meaning. So we can see Optimism up around 35%, LDO up 16, Uniswap nearly 9% up, VET nearly 9, HOT nearly 9, and Ape about 8.5% up. In the top 100, the greatest losses or greatest losers for the past 24 hours, CRO down 4.2%, Solana 3.9% down, Rose 2.3% down, Yearn Finance 2.25% down, BTT 1.34% down, and Decred just a little under 1% down. Not too many negative price action movers in the top 100. We know that opportunities reset daily, and there's always opportunities inside the crypto market. Having a look through the sectors is very valuable thing to do. Getting familiar with the crypto sectors is really important. You want to keep your eye on how things are moving. And how things are moving, how cryptos are moving relative to Bitcoin. It's true that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, but there are gravitational lags, and they are what we keep our eye on. You'll find that some cryptos lead Bitcoin and others follow. And when I say lead, I don't mean that they influence Bitcoin's gravity. What I mean is they resynchronize with Bitcoin's gravity. The overbought become oversold, and the oversold become overbought. This is because of Rule 4, price moves in waves. Getting a handle on how crypto is moving will absolutely and utterly make the difference. When you look deep into the market, you'll start to see variations and patterns that other people are not aware of. And as traders, we look at all opportunities. As an investor, you might get wedded to a beloved crypto, but it's really different when you trade. You're looking for opportunities. We know that we control the trade or investment, but the market controls the return. Because the market controls the return, we use BORSOG ANF as our risk management strategy. We always ask ourselves, if this trade or investment goes against us, what are we going to do with our portfolio and that specific trade or investment? And what if it goes nowhere? Or what if it goes for us? We use BORSOG ANF to do our risk management. It's important to contextualize what Bitcoin is doing, because we know that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. So for example, if Bitcoin goes up like this, what does Ethereum do? What does Binance Coin do? What does XRP do? What does Solana do? What does ADA do? What did Doge do? What did DOT do? You can see it's absolutely correct. Bitcoin's gravity is really important to look at. Overall, Bitcoin's price action is very positive. Bitcoin is forming higher lows each time, but we have to be aware of how the global macro actually impacts Bitcoin. If we come up to a level of resistance on the Nasdaq, and, for example, Bitcoin is following the Nasdaq, what do you think will happen? Please let me know in the comments. We can see a lot of optimism returning into the crypto market. Binance Coin, BNB, which has many different uses. For example, to reduce costs on trading. We can see that spiking up at the moment. Solana came down hard because of a hack and then just rallied, because Bitcoin's gravity will impact the alts even if there's really bad news. And it's amazing, Solana keeps on getting hacked, but it's performing very well. From a gravitational stance, which of these top 8, do you think is the weakest? Please let me know in the comments. Turning to some community favorites, IoTex just going bananas at the moment, doing really well. Sushi also doing very well. BTCST coming down, trying to find a base. People looking not so good at the moment, testing an area of support, but if it loses that, it could fall dramatically. Looking at optimism, very optimistic, doing very well, just going for it at the moment. LDO going up and then just retracing. Solana, because of the attack, the hack, potentially Solana could have more negative downside movement. I love my new term, negative. Okay, so what happens in a case like this? When we're looking at Solana, we could expect more negative action, but it really depends on Bitcoin's gravity. Just always be aware of this. Rose, a little bit of negative action, but finding a base at the present. As a community, we subscribe to positive excellence and maintaining real wealth foundations. This is really important to actually put money and success in its proper perspective. Edwin, thanks very much for your meme. Edwin put this meme up. Make sure you enjoy this, the bumpy road, life's up and downs, whilst you're looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. In yesterday's video, I asked the community about what is meaning to you, And Dinesh had a really beautiful statement. It's valuing everything that nature has created and knowing everything just adds a little something to that value. It's really beautiful, Dinesh. And Badger said, it's very important to put money into its proper perspective. It's a tool that can enhance life's experiences, but money without meaning is a very empty thing. You can have meaning without any money because what is really precious in life is often unseen and intangible. Very nice, Badger. I'm going to share more community quotes on meaning. Meaning is a very, very important thing to focus on, and it doesn't cost money to get meaning. Meaning is created by relationships, by gratitude, by so many things. For example, if you have gratitude, you will immediately be happy. If you're kind, you look towards gratitude because you see, in being kind to others, we're actually also kind to ourselves. And that kindness is really important when you're trading and investing. So many people literally beat themselves up that they didn't sell at the top and buy at the bottom. But often, when the bottom is struck in, most people aren't around, but they somehow think that they can travel back in time and buy that bottom. Just be happy with what actually happens. That's a key for fulfillment and meaning. A good thing to discuss in today's comments, how does anger actually impact meaning? That's a really, really good thing to discuss, and it's important because it's easy to get angry in life. But with trading and investing, it's especially easy to get angry. You can get angry that you didn't buy at the right time, you didn't sell at the right time. Controlling anger is something incredibly important, and when we combine that with its impact on fulfillment and meaning, that's something well worth discussing. I absolutely love your comments, and I look forward to seeing whatever you write. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.